Today is day 78. 78 days of consecutive vlogging. August 1st, 2019. I lost my mother to pancreatic cancer, and I decided that I was going to start vlogging every single day. It has been one of the most challenging things I have ever taken on. Not the vlogging part, but just expressing myself and putting myself out there, especially with all the grieving. It's been very, very challenging. Today is day 78, 78 consecutive days of vlogging. So let's go for the ride. So look, the year is 1984. And me, my mom, and my sister, we were on our way to go and come up here to my aunt and uncle's house. And my mom was dating this guy named Nick. And Nick was a great guy. And we were in his orange Cadillac. He had like a Cadillac Coupe de Ville. I forgot. I just remember it was orange with a white leather interior with a white top. And so my mom we were gonna drive up here and come see my aunt and uncle. So we get up here, my aunt and uncle, nobody's here, which was really rare because there was always somebody at the house. If it wasn't my aunt, it was my uncle. If it wasn't them, it was my cousins, or some, the younger kids, and nobody was here. So, well, I'll tell you a little bit more in just a second. Hold on. Well, I gotta get some groceries for the week, and you know where I'm at. Winco. Nobody is at my aunt and uncle's house, and so my mom is like, well, I guess we better, go back. Now, you have to remember something. My mom at this time, gosh, she was like, I don't know, 34, 35. And she had just got her license, like her driver's license, like when she was like 32 years old. So my mom, up until that point, like, we didn't drive anywhere. We took the bus everywhere. And she finally got her driver's license, like maybe 80, 81. So she only been driving a few years. And so me, my mom, and my sister, Shashira, we get back in the Cadillac. And, this Cadillac was, it was beautiful. It was power everything, power windows, power everything, and it was big. It was like a big orange spaceship. So we get back. Now, mind you, we're up in the hills. We're in Altadena. So Pasadena sits lower, and then Altadena sits up in the hills. So we're all the way up in Altadena. So, you have to drive up there, and then you have to drive down. So we leave, and we're starting to drive down. But we'll continue on in just a second. Hold on. So I got all my groceries for the week. So this way, I can eat a little healthier this week versus me eating out all the damn time. So, let me put this stuff away. So, we start driving down Fair Oaks Avenue. And, it's when I was a kid, it didn't seem so steep. But as I got older as an adult, I realized how steep Fair Oaks, coming down from up in the top of Altadena, it's pretty steep. And so, we're driving and we're going back home. And at the time, my mom, and my sister, we lived with Nick. And I think at this time, Nick's son, his name was Steve, lived in the house with us. And so we're driving, And we're going down Fair Oaks Avenue. And as you get towards Woodbury Avenue, as you get towards there, Fair Oaks does this slight turn. It's not a full 90-degree turn. It's just very subtle. It's a very subtle turn. And as we're going down and we're about to hit this turn, all of a sudden, well, hold on, I'll tell you, hold on, give me a second. So all of a sudden, as we're going down and we're hitting this turn, the car turns off. And I remember my mom was pumping the brakes. And I remember she started to panic. And as we're hitting this turn, the thing about this car, everything was all power, everything. Power steering, power brakes, power, everything was power. So when the car cut off, guess what? Everything literally stopped working. And so as we're going, and we're making this turn, and she realizes the car cut off, what does my mom do? She takes it, and she throws it in the park. And I just remember this grinding sound happening, and the car just I just remember, and we stopped at this bus stop, parked perfect right at this bus stop. I'll tell you some more in just a second. Hold on. So while I was at Sammy's, I grabbed the new GoPro Hero 8. I've been shooting all these with GoPro Hero 7. So I'm curious to see how much better the quality is going to be. We'll find out tomorrow's video, the day after, because I won't start shooting with this until tomorrow. But for now, the GoPro Hero 8. Let's see what they're trying to do here. So we stop at this bus stop. It couldn't have been more perfect. And my mom being my mom, she goes, "Get out of the car! Get out of the car! It's gonna blow up! It's gonna blow up!" Now, mind you, I'm how old was I? I think I was 11. Yeah, I was 11 going on 12. So yeah, I was 11 years old, and I had to tell my mom, the car's not gonna blow up. Calm down. The car's gonna blow up. Get your shit, get out of the car, get out of the car. And she's panicking, and we get out of the car, and I'm like, "Mom, it's not gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up." And so right at this very moment, here comes my aunt and my cousin Lulu. They're driving, they're going up Fair Oaks, and they see us. And they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" "Oh, the car, it stopped, and I had to throw it in the park." And I remember my tia, Katie, who was like my mom's mother. I remember she was like, "Diane, why did you throw it in park? Why didn't you just hit the emergency brake?" "I don't know. The car went out. I was pumping the brakes, and I just had to stop the car." And so, my mom was like that. She could wig out real quick. And so, they put us in the van, and we left the car there because we weren't sure what was wrong. And we left, and they drove us back home to Nick's house where we lived, which wasn't terribly far away, but they got us there. And I remember we walked into the house, and I remember Nick asking this one question. Hold on. What were you saying about the Popeye's chicken sandwich?
No, you can't do that. You can't.
No.
No.
I just want to know.
I mean, okay, if you think of it this way, okay, it's better than Chick-fil-A's. That's hands down. Like, it's way better.
Is it better than Buc-ee's?
It depends on how you look at it.
What do you mean, how you look at it?
Like, the chicken-wise, I think so, just because that Popeyes one was so crispy. Like, it was really, but like...
Are they two different things?
Kind of, yeah. I'd say they're two different. Like, you gotta be in a different mood for both. They're not just like, oh, I want a chicken sandwich. Oh, I'm gonna go here. Like, you gotta know what kind of chicken sandwich you want.
She's permanently banned from Buc-ee's.
We
get Buck around here.
You have to try it at least.
We get Buck around here.
But you have to try
Buck
it.
you!
You have to try it at least, though. Like.
No.
No?
No. Buc-ee's only.
Oh, yeah, you don't even have the Chick-fil-A sandwich, huh?
Buck you is what we're gonna do. We're gonna buck people.
Buck people.
Nick asked this one question that now when I look back on it, it is probably the one question that every man, it's gonna be the first question that he is more than likely gonna ask because he's a man. And that question was, hey Diane, where's the car? Now, the thing about my mom was there were certain things that could trigger my mom. My mom was an angel. She was the sweetest, kindest, but there was also this wild pit bull inside of her that if you pushed her or did something the wrong way, it triggered something. So that question, hey Diane, where's the car? I still, to this day, and I don't know if Nick's alive. I really don't think he is, but to this day, I feel so bad for him because he caught the wrath of Diane. Hey Diane, where's the car? Now, a lot of you know my mom is a real nice lady. But what y'all don't know is that before she moved to Bakersfield, my mom could cuss with the best of them. And I just remember her turning on him and go, mother, don't you ever ask about your mother car. Me and my children were in that car, and I had and she just went off. And I remember the look on his face. I'm just barbecuing, drinking a beer. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. That was what I know. That's what was going on in his head. And so then, all of a sudden, his son Steve, and Steve was probably like a 30-year-old dude. Steve comes out the room and is like, hey, Diane, what's wrong? Mother, don't you? And I remember Steve backing up and he bumps into this counter that was in the kitchen. It was like a shelf, this big shelf in the kitchen. And he bumps up in it. And I remember the stuff rocked because she, literally was ready to fight. I think if he'd have tried anything, she would have grabbed the knife, she would have cut him. But you didn't push my mom for whatever reasons. And at that moment, well, here, I'll tell you in a second. And at that moment is when my life changed. At that moment is when she said, I have had enough of Pasadena and I'm moving back. We're moving back to Bakersfield. And she called my aunt, and they came and picked us up, and she packed our stuff, and a week later we were in Bakersfield. And that was a huge change, not only for my mom, but for myself. My sister was still young. My sister was only like 4, maybe 4 or 5. I think she was 5, maybe going on 6. So she doesn't even really remember any of this stuff. And I got blindsided. Like, it was like culture shock going from Pasadena to Bakersfield. And the Orange Cadillac is what got me here to Bakersfield. It is the catalyst in the change of my life. So as I was in Pasadena yesterday, I think about all these different moments that I had as a kid with my mom. And they're great memories, and they're fun memories, and I'm very fond of them. And the Orange Cadillac, is the reason why I'm in Bakersfield. And I got a ton more of stories that I need to tell about my mom, and I will. The Orange Cadillac. Don't test her, because she will nut up on you. So look, that's all I got for today. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I appreciate you watching. Comment, like, share, do all those great things. And day 78 in the books. I'll holler at you later. Peace.